Hello and welcome to this episode of the 107 podcast with myself, Ash, and my co-host Jacob. Jacob, there's something I can't see any British media on our screens. I can't see them anywhere. Can't see any writings from them. Can't see any Sky Sports posts.
That's okay, Max. We'll turn up. Don't you worry. We would have been there in the room.
Technically, we're not even really British media if you think about it.
I mean, yes and
we're
no.
Like semi.
Yeah, somewhat based in Britain.
We're the K-Mag and Fernando fan club.
Fan club of 2. I can't imagine that's a particularly popular, favourite 2 drivers.
No, I think.
Who are your favourite drivers? Kevin Magnussen and Fernando Alonso. What? Who are you? Check his hard drive.
Next, you tell me it's Checo. Well, he's a close third.
Close third in what? Anyway, welcome to.
Do you know? I'll tell you what. He's a close third in. He's a close third in. No. He's actually close. He's actually second.
I know where you're going with this.
Number of points.
Oh,
right. That I've got it here.
I don't know where you're going with this. I thought you were going to say the Destructors Championship because I think he's pretty high up in that.
Points since the summer break. Right. Esteban Ocon, 18. Pierre Gasly and Sergio Perez, 20. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy.
I mean, that all changed purely because of Sunday, but you know.
I mean, the guy's in one of the fastest cars in
the
championship.
Is he in one of the fastest cars, or is it just the difference that Max makes to your car? We will talk about all that and more, Brazilian Grand Prix. But first up, super quick, let's spend 5 minutes talking about old news, Mexican Grand Prix, because we didn't do an episode.
No, we didn't.
We were busy. I had to go see a man about a dog, and Ash,
I had to go see a dog about a man.
Yeah, there you go. So, no, we were just busy, and I think we sacrificed doing a Mexican Grand Prix roundup because we were busy talking to Bella. So if you haven't heard that podcast, go and check it out. It's our last episode 111 or something like that, which is, again, outrageous. We're getting up there in the numbers now. But yeah, go and check out that previous episode and let us know what you think. But yeah, we were very busy, and so we didn't record an episode. So just general sort of thoughts, Mexico. What was your top 3 takeaways from Mexico? So we run through it super quick. What are the top 3 takeaways?
Great drive by Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
Is kind of showing why Williams picked him, and really he should be leaving Ferrari, but Lewis Hamilton, I get it. Max and Lando just fighting on and off and on and off, and Max was in Esteban Ocon. 10-second penalty for you. 10-second penalty for you.
On and off the track, quite literally, at one point, yeah.
Yeah, and those were, I would say, justified, especially the second one.
Penalties,
and the third one, which obviously, once we talk about Brazil, is just Max's comments. It's like, I'm a 3-time world champion. I know how to drive.
Yeah, you are absolutely right about that one. Top 3 for me in terms of Mexico was there is a clear reason why Max is world champion and is one of, if not the best of this generation. Very, very clear and obvious, regardless of whether or not you agree or disagree with his driving style. Personally, I disagree. It's dirty, but hey, he had exactly the same attitude as Schumacher, exactly the same attitude as Senna. I am the fastest, move out of the way, I am the best. Like, it is what it is. You do have to remember, though, that Schumacher got disqualified from an entire championship for one dirty move. So, I mean, there's very, very thin ice that these drivers are treading on. Point number 2 was, Sainz did incredibly well. We've already talked about that. And I don't really have another point, to be honest with you. I think those were the 2 or 3 most controversial moments, if I'm honest. I can't think of anything else. Oh, no, Lawson versus Perez. Oh, my God. That was...
for your job, mate.
Absolute cinema. That was so good. I find it absolutely hilarious as well that even during the Brazilian Grand Prix, Lawson outscored him again. So funny. So funny. But yeah, those are my takeaways for Mexico. Anything else we want to talk about, like, before we jump into Brazil? I don't think so.
Nah,
the Seb stuff that he was doing on the Thursday, that was kind of cool with the recycled Senna helmet. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, it's good to see him back in the paddock.
Yeah.
Back on the F1.
Yeah.
But nah, no, not really.
All right.
I just think, again, it will lead on to Brazil, is the stewards are not improving.
No, they are not. Just like the weather did not improve.
It definitely needs to. I don't know who was mentioning it. I can't remember if it was Terry or if it was Jensen. That's it. But like, they need paid stewards. They need consistent stewards. And I think, who was it? Maybe even just Verstappen. I kind of agree with him on this. Stewards should not be speaking to the media.
No.
I think Johnny Herbert was speaking to the media. It's like, no. They should not be.
No.
The only time they should really be speaking to the media is it's like to explain decisions. But they do
like you said before, I
yeah.
think you suggested that they like explain decisions and etc. etc.
Like similar to kind of, you know what Mercedes do? Sometimes they do like a race debrief and they're like, why did we make this strategic decision and why did we put them onto this tire? They should come out and say, we made the decision to give this penalty for this action because of this, and we saw this on the telemetry.
Yeah,
things like that.
But I don't think they will. F1 has modernised as a sport, but it's not.
Premier League referees.
Yeah, pretty much. But so, Brazil. Should we start off with, just in general, how hectic and crazy the weekend was? We're recording this now Monday evening, so the day after, and I'm still tired after Super Sunday and the whole weekend. Like,
that was an exhausting race.
All we were doing was sitting there watching it. I cannot imagine how ridiculously tired these drivers would be, let alone how tired we were. And definitely sparing a thought for the mechanics who were there since 4 a.m. on Sunday, some of them, getting ready to get the cars ready for a 7:30 start time for quali, which was just absolutely crazy. First of all, sprint race, sprint quali, I think it was interesting enough. Sprint race, sprint quali. It was very odd when the red flag happened with Nico Hülkenberg. That was a weird situation that I was questioning massively, but then again, that leans into the whole stewardship thing. Piastri,
the timing was...
timing was odd. Piastri giving Norris the win, didn't like that. I understand, obviously, the championship battle at that point, anyway, was still kind of on. We'll get to that later. But giving up a win, I wouldn't want to do that. And I think you could tell Lando felt bad that was how it played out.
Like, another thing also, like, you've always been more critical of McLaren strategy, and I've kind of tend to give them the benefit of the doubt and be a bit more lenient. But like, the fact that they left it so long when there could have been safety cars, when there could have been red flags, and they might not have been able to make the switch, was it's like, what are you doing? Just get it over and done with. Stop drawing this out, and then, get on with the sprint and pull the gap, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, and then you get all the conspiracy theories, like they just swapped it, and then it's like, oh no, virtual safety car, and it's like, and then it's just...
and then Max got a 5-second time penalty because he was too slow during one of the virtual safety car laps, which, by the way, is a slam dunk penalty. It's not a case of like, it's because he was just behind Piastri or Piastri was slowing him down or anything like that. It is literally a case of both the drivers know exactly how, or all of the drivers know exactly how fast they should or shouldn't be driving. And as far as I'm aware, there's even a thing on the screen that tells them how fast they should be going as well. So it's not rocket science. But arguably, everything that could have possibly gone right on Saturday did go right for McLaren. You could argue. Sunday, not so much.
Well, do we want to talk about the delay in quali?
Yeah, well, first of all, yeah, it was supposed to be on Saturday.
It was Saturday.
And then it just kept on getting every 15 minutes delayed. And do you know what it reminded me of? You know what it reminded me of because I told you, but it reminded me of Belgium.
Told me numerous times. Whenever there's like rain on a track,
I literally get PTSD every single time. I'm like, oh god, a session's been delayed. Oh god, they're thinking about putting a red flag. Oh god. Horrible. And I saw, and we even shared a video of how bad the rain was at Interlagos over the Saturday as well. And there is no way, like, you could be a keyboard warrior as much as you want, being like, oh, the driver should go out, blah, 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 blah. Especially even on the Sunday as well. I saw the rain. There's no way that I would drive it out on like a road car or anything like that. Like, I would stay indoors and pretend I didn't exist if that weather was outside.
Even on the Sunday, like, I mean, we all love racing in the wet, right? But even on the Sunday, there was times where that rain was pouring, and even I was like, red flag.
Why are they not red flagging? I think I said it twice. Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at this and, from a screen, but I mean, it was just crazy.
Yeah. And there was I think in the Sunday, I'll touch on this very quickly because it's very related. I don't want to jump the gun. But there was allegedly a moment on the radio where Ollie told his engineer that he didn't want to die during the race. That's how bad and how serious and how scared he was, and I do not blame him at all. If anything, I have even more respect for him after that. Like, that's outrageous.
And he had quite a few offs as well, didn't he?
So here's my theory. He had that contact with Colapinto. Again, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but during the race on Sunday, he had a little bit of contact with Colapinto, and he spun out, and he got the penalty, which, okay, sure. Yeah. I get why he was penalised, but at the same time, like, nah. It was his first time racing a Formula 1 car at the quickest possible pace you could give it, in the wet, and in that wet as well. Not like a light drizzle where, it might be inters, it might be dries. No, it was full wets at points as well. And you could see after that first spin, he just tumbled down the timing like lists and stuff. So I feel for the bloke. That cannot have been fun at all. Like, on Friday, he's turned up to the track thinking, oh yeah, I'll just, learn what I can and, enjoy
did well
Brazil.
With sprint quali as well.
Maybe I'll be around for sprint quali. Maybe I'll be around for the sprint. Brilliant. And then Kevin's back. Oh no, he's not back in the car. And then he was completely thrown into it this weekend. So hats off to Bearman. I think
K-Mag was like, I picked the right time to get it.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Kevin escaped
This is the one
shit.
race weekend he wanted to miss. Like,
man. But then again, it's also not because of what he did a couple of years ago. So true that. There is that. Plus, if it's going to rain and you need to set a lap time, he might be a good person to call upon. But no, I feel for Ollie. That cannot have been a good experience. A very filled with learnings, but cannot have been a good experience for him whatsoever. So yeah, I hope it doesn't shake his confidence because he is fast. You can tell. And I really hope it doesn't shake his confidence. So
he'll be fine.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
Racing drivers.
I know, yeah. So yeah, but everything that went fine on Friday and then Saturday morning, brilliant. Sunday, everything that could have possibly gone wrong for McLaren went horribly, horribly wrong. I mean,
not too much in the quali. So we'll start with
quali. Sure, it didn't go too badly, obviously, but race proper, horribly wrong.
Yeah, I mean, quali. Obviously, Lando put it on pole.
Yeah.
Max, locked up. Max didn't make it to Q3 because of the timings of the red flag.
Yeah.
I was really happy to see Alonso up there, but unfortunately, he had a little bit of a crash. But yeah, actually just thinking about it, you talked about, imagine you're a mechanic, you've been up super early, prepping the car for quali, repairing the cars in between quali and the race. That must have been an exhausting day for them.
Horrible.
And again, we're jumping ahead, but there's so much back and forth, the whole image of, was it the guy when Colapinto crashed?
Just like
Williams,
this. The Williams, if I'm James Vowles, that is the time when you say to all of your engineers, take an extra day's holiday after that. That was fucking outrageous. Lads, I'm not being funny. We'll sort it. That was horrific. you smashed it. It's not your fault. That was bad. You need some extra time to just relax, because that was after a triple header as well.
Yeah, and also, Albon didn't even make it to the race.
No, I know. Yeah.
Which was a shame because he looked like he had some pace.
Yeah, and so we had signs in the wall first,
and he started from the pit lane.
Yeah, so he started from the pit lane. Then we had Max out in Q2, P12.
Yeah, timing with the end of the session.
Yeah, which obviously was not ideal.
And then he had
a grid penalty on top of that. Then Albon crashes in Q3 as well. And I think who else went off? Fernando Alonso went off as well. And
the back end just
stepped out. Yeah. And I think Piastri span, was that during the race?
He locked up in turn one.
That was it.
So
yeah.
he wasn't able to improve on his time.
Yeah.
And then Lando just So hats off to George.
Yeah.
They ran a very risky strategy of just kind of doing the one while everyone was waiting to go out, they stayed in, kept the tyres warm, and he put in a good lap to get him onto P2. So fair play to him.
Yeah. And then the race start, which was I've never experienced, it was like an out of body experience. Yeah. I have never experienced a race start like that ever.
I don't get it either. Okay, so let's talk about how it got to an aborted start, which was Stroll.
Yeah. First of all, okay, sure. You go off during the formation lap. All right, that's fine.
Max has done that as well.
Max has done it. Do you know what I mean? He did it on a cycle lap in Budapest, didn't he?
Yeah. And they had that video where they had to
like 7 minutes or something like that. It was insane. So it does happen even to the best, right? You're warming up your tyres. You're trying to get a feel for everything. Plus, it was pissing it down with rain. You know what, Lance? I can defend that. It happens to the best of us, right?
Yeah.
And I certainly wouldn't do a better job. However, I'm not that brain dead. I would have driven through the gravel.
What? I don't get that.
I don't understand.
I even think there was a video released of his engineer setting to reverse as well, reverse out.
He could have done like a little donut as well. I don't understand what was going through his head. Yeah. I genuinely, it's literally like he went, BC in the gravel, done for the day.
Yeah, he's not. He's not been very not been himself recently.
No, recently he's not been himself. There is something to do with his. I laugh. It's not funny, but it is. But it's not. His ex, maybe, I don't really know, or his former girlfriend, or whatever, deleted all of the photos of those two together on his birthday a couple of days or weeks ago, or something like that. So clearly, there's some off-track stuff going on as well. Allegedly, again, I'm not 100% sure, but this is what I've been told. But things are not going well for Baby Stroll, and he's not having a good time of it at the moment.
No, I think he just wants this season to be over with.
Yeah, it's not
the car's not good as well, and you are in the public eye, but I really do feel for Lance. He gets so much hate.
He does. He does.
Anyone in his position would be doing it, and hey, my dad's rich and wants me to be an F1 driver. Yeah, okay,
If 99% of us were in the same position, we would all be an F1 driver.
And I'm also sure if Lance didn't want to do it, he can just say no. It's like, Dad, it's not for me, right? So I really do feel for him because he gets some unwarranted hate, really badly unwarranted hate, and I think who was it? Karina said something, and I felt so bad because obviously we make memes, but they're lighthearted, right? I'd never wish death upon anyone. Or just,
no.
He's like. And I don't know who she was talking to. I think it was one of Aston Martin's PR or social media. She goes, "Yeah, Lance doesn't like to go on social media because he just gets so much hate,
ridiculed." Yeah.
I was like, man, that's so
horrible.
So you just want to give him a hug, man.
Yeah. Same with Behrman with that scary radio message as well. Not good at all. But again, I will stand by my position of driving through the gravel was a really stupid idea.
Yeah. That was a bit strange. Maybe like it could have just been like a brain fart and he thought he could make it through with the pace.
It could have been brain fart. It could have also just been, oh my God, I've gone off formation lap.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'll drive as quickly as possible. Let's just get the car going. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I've driven through the gravel. Oh, I'm beat.
Yeah, it can happen, right?
Yeah.
It can happen. Like,
Yeah.
and Lewis has made, everyone's made stupid mistakes.
Oh, Lewis. Yeah, Lewis.
Even Charles is like, I am stupid.
Lewis's was a bit more, how do we say, a bit more dramatic, his trip through the gravel, halfway through the gravel. But yeah, there we go.
Right. So
then the second lap / not second lap.
Well, so Lance goes off.
Yeah.
Gets stuck, and so because of the position of the car and them having to move it, they set up. They say it's an aborted start.
Aborted start. Yeah.
Now, obviously, I don't know the rules and regulations inside out, but for me, I thought aborted start is you stay on the grid. Right. The start is aborted, and for some strange reason, Lando moved off and George moved off, Liam moved off, and like, what's happening? Oh, hold on. We need to stop. Stop right now.
Okay.
We've missed a very important story in qualifying.
What did we miss?
Yuki Tsunoda in P3.
We did miss this. Yuki Tsunoda P3, and then it was Liam Lawson P5. Outrageous. Fucking rageous.
In P3 of qualifying.
Yeah.
Well done. Also, did you see the thing where they like talking to George? And like the camera was here. And then
it was just
it was
so bad. It was so bad, but it was so good. George is like the tallest driver other than Ocon, I think. They're like very similar in height.
They're like 6'1", he's like 6'1".
Yuki's like clearly the smallest. It's so funny.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
and it also reminded me, I think, did you ever see the Monster Truck video with like Max, Yuki, Sergio?
Oh, yeah. And Yuki actually won, didn't he?
And it's like Max is there. It's like, hi, I'm Max Verstappen, and I'm here with the shortest driver on the grid. And Yuki's like, no, I'm not. It's just the way he pulls that out. It's so funny. I'll send you the clip. It's like, he's hilarious, Max.
It is funny.
Yeah, so it's an aborted start, but some of the cars decided to go off. I don't know what the radio comms was. I don't know how. Maybe if there was another formation lap, and like some of them, like Max stayed on the grid.
Yeah.
And so that just caused a whole load of shit as well.
Yeah, and so that also brings in another thing where, so I think Lando, Russell, and Tsunoda and Ocon, I believe, maybe Lawson, I can't remember, they all got a €5,000 fine and a reprimand or penalty points or whatever it was, right?
Yep.
But so that's a €5,000 fine for completely ignoring the correct start procedures or safety procedures or whatever, right? But swearing in a press conference is 10. Eh?
It's
what? Eh? Can we have some logic there, please? Like, I don't understand. Also, you only get fined for swearing if you are from Monaco. If you're not from Monaco, it's community service. Sorry. Just the way it is. We know people that are from Monaco are minted, obviously. So,
yeah.
We'll talk about stewardship maybe a little bit later because that's a completely separate topic. But my God, the mind just doesn't. I can't comprehend the common sense that flows through the FIA at the moment.
It's been. I mean, I'm not going to blame the FIA for the aborted start.
No, I'm not blaming them for that. I'm blaming them for the lack of consistency / fairness in penalties and fines and all that fun stuff. Anyway, so we had the second or the aborted start, which then obviously all of the drivers went round, and obviously Max was the one on the radio or on F1 TV who was very vocal, like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
It wasn't that like Franco couldn't get the car started or whatever. They were all just sat there going, what's happening? Like, what's going on? And I'm glad that, because initially on the message on F1 TV or the broadcast was Lando is under investigation, and I was like, at this point as well, because Lando's starting P1, he was P2 at that point. We'll talk about that in a minute because fucking hell. But at that point, I was like, you can't penalise one but not the others for also doing exactly the same thing, regardless of whether or not one breaks the rules or follows or whatever. If X amount of people broke the rules, X amount of people should be punished. Like, just because if I murder somebody and then somebody else murders somebody afterwards, because I did it first, I get the punishment and nobody else does. That makes no sense.
I just think, I'm just hoping it was just like an F1 graphic thing where like they might have just put it up incorrectly.
So I think Norris was noted and then investigated, and that investigation was like, hey, we actually need to investigate everyone else. I
guess maybe just to be like, play the devil's advocate, I think maybe they investigated Norris first because of Norris. It's like you know when you do like when Olympic swimmers dive off and one dives because they misheard something and the rest dive.
Yeah.
So let's just investigate Lando first, see why he went off.
Yeah.
And then see if that affected the other drivers as well.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
It's like a false start in running. If you think that you've heard the gun and then you go and then
everyone else goes.
So when everyone else goes. So yeah, it's
So we'll see what happened with Lando. It could have been radio, whatever. You know, he might have been able to see it because of the weather, whatever it is.
No idea.
And then we'll be like, okay, actually, that's not excusable. His actions shouldn't have affected the other ones, so we'll investigate them more.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking there with the stewards.
Yeah, but I think that was fair. Like, everyone was investigated. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Not a problem at all, and I'm glad that things, played out like that. Yeah. Then we had the race start, and yet again, Norris has bottled it.
Well, he got off to a good start, but
in the second phase, he just completely...
I
have a theory, though. I have a theory that the inside of the track was somehow drier.
Well, I think I can't remember which driver was talking about it, but when... again, also you have to factor in that was new asphalt as well.
Exactly, yeah. So...
because the racing line, all the dirt is off the racing line, it's a little bit more grippier, apparently. And, obviously Max was using that for some of his
braking points into turn one, which is exactly what George utilised as well. So, plus, I'll be honest with you, if you're starting on the grid, and obviously first starts top right essentially, and then a little bit behind top left is second. If that first corner is left, starting P2 half the time is actually a bit of more of an advantage than starting P1, because you always have to come across and cover as well. So, I mean, you had the same in Kota. Exactly the same situation, especially going uphill into a big braking zone as well. Exactly the same situation. So I do get it, but at the same time, it's like, how many times, Lando? How many times are you going to be on pole and bottle it? And that obviously goes into the bigger conversation, around my entire weekend. It was just like, Lando can play at wanting and saying that he is the best or will be the best, etc., but you've got to beat Max, and he's just not beating him.
Nah, he hasn't.
That's what it boils down to. He's not championship winning material at the moment because he's not beating the champion.
Yeah. So, he didn't have the best start. Max had an amazing start. I think he made up 4 or 5 places.
Literally ridiculous start, yeah. Because he started... Hold on, I've got the starting grid up here. Because he started behind Behrman on the grid. Yeah, so Behrman got a really bad start. So he made up like 1 or 2 places almost immediately, purely because Behrman was barely moving. Yeah. Again, probably one of the only times that Behrman had ever tried to practice a wet start, by the way. So perfectly understand him not having a great start. And I fully understand I'm defending one driver for the exact same thing I'm criticising another for. But one has over 100 Grand Prix race starts. So bear with me on that one. The other one had 2 at that point. But he got a great start. And I think that there was also a statistic that came up. Let me try that again. There was a statistic that came up that Max won after starting P17 on the grid, right? And only 5 out of the 1,121 previous World Championship races have been won from 17th or lower on the grid. So that's such an insane statistic. Of all of the times to whip out a performance when it's needed, he's done it when it's needed.
Brazil on the wet, Max is just another level.
Generational, like literally a generational talent. Like it's absolutely insane what he pulled off. Like unbelievable. So like that's like a hold on. If I do the maths really quick, let me get a calculator.
Okay, while you do that, I'll say some people crack under pressure. Some
He
people
doesn't.
under pressure. He fucking hasn't won in since Imola? Is it Imola?
Yeah, before the summer break at the least.
Hasn't won since Imola. Is getting a lot of hate and critiques about his driving. Pushing people off the track. British media are having a go at him, and he's like, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you why and he said it in the press conferences, why he's a 3-time world champion.
Yeah.
Because he knows how to drive.
He pulled off a 1 in 224.2 odd, like, record/performance.
Mad.
Like,
Absolutely mad.
some very successful Formula 1 drivers have never even raced 224 races. I don't even know if Max has.
I don't think so.
Hold on a minute. Let me Google.
I might have it here actually. London.
Races has Max Verstappen been in? Entries 206 apparently, according to Wikipedia. So statistically, he also shouldn't have been able to pull that off. Insane, utterly insane. 206 race starts. 224. That's like you've got to remember, only so many drivers have even reached 300 Grand Prix, let alone 200.
Also, he didn't go off the track once.
I don't think he did. No, I think he went wide, maybe at one corner, like just over the line, but that was about it.
Yeah.
I
never went off the track.
Just crazy, utterly crazy. Driver of the day, I would argue that was driver of the season, and I don't even think it's close with any other drives. Name a better drive this season.
Hamilton, Silverstone, might maybe.
I'd argue
because he didn't have the car. It was Silverstone. He hadn't won in 18 months or something like that.
Yeah,
I would maybe give, and to do it in Britain.
Is that British bias coming through though, Ash?
No,
think about it.
It's not, because I don't think there was any other race that's come kind of semi-close.
No,
yeah, definitely it's up there for a short list of race of the season.
It has to be race of the season, like performance of the season. It has to be. That was a joke how good that was. In the wet at Interlagos, resurfaced track. Come on. Silverstone had been resurfaced before, so as far as I'm concerned, Lewis, that was pathetic. You know it was good when have you seen Lewis even commented on Max's Instagram videos being
Max,
wow.
Who is it? Fernando, Lewis, and Lando.
Nico, I think, as well.
Okay, yeah. Hey, game recognize game.
Yeah. But so we had an absolutely outrageous start. Then we had Max obviously in the lead.
I think obviously the next big thing was the safety car.
Safety car red flag, yeah.
The safety car red flag, where some pitted and some didn't, and that's kind of where Alpine's managed to nearly get the win, but
yeah,
get a second and third.
If you ever feel useless, remember that there is an extreme wet tyre in Formula 1 at the moment.
Yeah, that's really interesting. It's just never used.
I think, and this is what they were saying on F1 TV commentary, is that the extreme wet is only used in those super extreme conditions where it's so close to a red flag anyway. If you are pitting to put a wet on, probably going to be a red flag very, very soon. And that's exactly what happened. Because some drivers were pitting for wets at that current point in time.
Yeah, I think Sergio and Yuki.
Yuki, I want to say maybe Valtteri off the top of my... Again, bear with us. But yeah, there were a couple of drivers pitting for full wets. And then obviously the session got red flagged. And I get why the drivers were pitting, because those inters were not fit for purpose. They weren't good.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. It's it was getting so wet. It's do something, and they just weren't doing anything. And then eventually they brought out the safety car, and then they red flagged it. But it looked horrendous.
Horrible. Yeah.
like you don't blame Ollie Behrman for saying like, I think I'm going to die.
I don't want to die. Yeah, I don't.
And we've seen like scary incidents in the wet, right? You know, we don't want to happen with Jaws, but even, do you remember Carlos in Japan? Was it a couple of years ago?
Yeah. What do you not remember? Yeah, Carlos in Japan, and then Pierre Gasly almost doing exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I won't mention it, but exactly what happened before. Like So it is scary. It really is scary.
And like, I'm looking at it from one camera angle, thinking you've got to do something now. The FIA have so many angles, and all the team radios. Like, why does it take you time to make the decision?
I don't get me wrong. I get the idea of like, these should be the best drivers in the world. They should be able to deal with the rain. Yeah. But I would also argue that they are not equipped properly to go out in the rain because the tyres are so fucking useless. Yeah. So if the extreme wets worked, brilliant, but they don't. So, and we had no support series there, or as far as I'm aware, we didn't have a support series there to help clean the rain and also build up that racing line too, which is why the track ramped up so quickly on Friday.
So, it was just,
but
intense.
So that red flag happened, and already like this is such a long day anyway. And then you've got Esteban Ocon in the lead, who then doesn't really fight Max, I would argue, but Ocon was flying the entire weekend.
If you did you listen to the cool down room, and there's like, you are getting away from me.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
I guess the power of visibility, right?
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Then Max made his move, and then once he did it was game over.
Yeah, I think free air, like when you've got nothing, like no spray in your way, nothing. I think that's obviously the best sort of thing, and that's sort of what, again, to bring it up, Belgium 21, Max was like, I'm fine. There's like, I can see. Let's race. Like, we're good. But everyone else behind her was like, I can't fucking see. Help. So I get it.
Is that red light a brake light or a Ferrari?
Is that a Ferrari? I don't really. And I'm dead. I've crashed into the back of everyone. Insane. And so it must obviously be the easiest. It's always easy in P1 in the rain because, you've got nobody in front of you messing everything up. But yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. But I did like the fact that obviously we had those two on the podium. Absolutely fantastic. So nice. And Charles did pretty well as well, I'd argue. He had a pretty solid race. Did he go off at all? I don't think he did, not even in quali.
No, I think he may have had a couple of moments, but even Max was saying like it was hard to get past Charles. Right?
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, we're going so random with what's going on, but there's so much going on. Nico Hülkenberg getting pushed back onto the track.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate because he was beached, to be fair. He was beached.
Continuing to race, and they're like, dude, that's a black flag.
Yeah.
You can't have outside help.
I think he just went, if I just carry on.
Yeah, there was so much is going on.
Yeah, there's so much craziness happening anyway. I'll be fine. And he just wasn't. But yeah, crazy stuff.
Yeah, Lewis didn't have a good day. He was not happy at all.
No.
Well, he did have a good day, and then the race started. Because he drove Senna's classic car in the wet, which was so cool. Did you hear the sound of that car?
Yeah, apparently. So one of the photographers was saying when he was at one end of the track, he could hear it at the other end of the track.
Jeez.
Like, insane. Utterly insane.
Yeah. Yeah, that was amazing. He had like the Senna helmet. He had the white suit. That was very nice. And when he got in the car, you could see how emotional he was.
Yeah. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Really feel for Fernando. He, could have done a lot better in quali had he not gone off. Like, it wasn't his fault. The race, he tried, but just wasn't there. And then he finished. He was in so much pain because of the porpoising.
Yeah, that was bad. Did you see the video of him getting out of the car?
Yeah, he was really struggling.
Wow.
And like the fact that he's like, I'm going to finish a race for the mechanics.
Yeah.
What they've had to do. That was nice. And then
it shows you what an absolute fucking legend Fernando Alonso is.
Yeah, and he also mentioned in an interview, I think, with Spanish media that there's a lot of floodings in Spain as well.
Yeah,
So kind of like what I'm going through is nothing compared to
nothing in
what they're going through.
comparison.
So
Yeah.
I
Have you
can finish a race.
slightly on topic / off topic? Have you seen what's happening in Spain? It is
Yeah, it's
outrageous
mental.
what's going on at the moment.
Like, do you see like the cars on top of cars on top of cars?
It's like a
crazy.
film scene out of like, was it
Yeah,
2012?
Disaster movie.
Yeah,
something
literally.
like
Yeah, it's horrible. Absolutely horrible.
So yeah, man. Yeah, just crazy. Just
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah.
Sorry to derail that a little bit there, but
No. I think can we say the championship's over now?
oh yeah, there's no coming back from this at all. Like, you bottled it. The one opportunity that Lando had to keep the championship alive was for Max to struggle a little bit, maybe pick up like 2 to 4 points, right? And for him to win, get fastest lap. And it just completely fell apart. Slowly but surely completely fell apart. Just yeah. Max is inevitable at this point.
Thanos. He just needs like 5 championships.
Yeah. Well, he could get one. He's getting his 4th this year. Let's be honest. He's getting his 4th.
Could he get his 5th as well?
Next year, who knows? Yeah, I think.
But yeah, I think overall, crazy weekend,
Yeah,
crazy race. But at the end of the day, the best show why they're the best.
Yep.
And fair play to Max. Like, literally, when people are like doubting him, Lando could do this, McLaren's this. He's like, mate, I'm a 3-time world champion. Let me show you why.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Simple as, literally simple as.
A champion's drive. That's what it was from start to finish.
Yeah, totally agree.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you very much. But yeah, so I'm absolutely unreal. You can't knock it. You literally cannot knock it at all.
No. Sometimes even if you don't like Max, because people will just feel, no. You got to hold your hands up and say, "Hey, just game recognized game." Even Lewis saw it.
Yeah.
Lando saw it. Charles saw it.
Yeah.
Fernando saw it. I'm sure every other driver saw it.
Because I think now, if I very quickly go look at the F1 Drivers' Championship, right? Essentially, and this is why I'm saying it's over. Max has 393 points. Norris has 331. So unless Max literally DNFs like the next 3 races or doesn't score in the next 3 races, it is over. Like, it's like Charles is now mathematically out, and he's only 20-ish points behind.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. If you're Lando, yes, it's mathematically possible. I swear to fucking God, if we get to like Qatar or whatever, and Lando, for the sprint race, Lando's in the lead and Norris is in second, he better give up that fucking win. I swear.
Hold on. Say that again, because you said Lando's in the lead and Norris is in second.
Oh, if Lando is in the lead of the Qatar sprint race and Piastri is in second, nailed it. If Piastri's in second and Lando doesn't give up that victory to make or set what happened in Brazil, I'm going to be pissed. That is completely unfair. That's one of the things for me. I will be looking out and I will be remembering that for the other 2 sprint races. Because there's 2, or is it just the 1? 1, because we had Kota and then Brazil and then Qatar, and that's it.
I think, the next sprint is Qatar.
Yeah, but that's the last one of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's not one at Vegas if it's Qatar, and Abu Dhabi doesn't have one.
Yeah. But yeah, I will be keeping an eye on you, McLaren, if that doesn't happen. You need to sort your shit out. But if I'm McLaren and Piastri and Norris, I mean, and here's one of the things for me is, who was his race engineer when Schumacher was arguably at his most dominant? Team orders were a thing. Who was there? Andrea Stella. So he should know serious how team orders work, how things happen, when, etc., etc. So I hope that McLaren use the rest of the year to work out what on earth is going on with their strategy, with when they swap drivers, how they're focused on different things during the race, when they pit drivers, blah, 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 so that they come out swinging next year, because that is the only hope that you have of beating Verstappen. If you want to beat Verstappen over an entire season, you cannot fuck up and throw away race wins like you did in Silverstone.
You have to be obsessed like Nico was with Lewis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, I want to see that level of commitment from Lando and from McLaren. I want to see, was it Warrior, the film, where it was who's the guy that plays Venom at the moment?
Tom Hardy,
where he just like comes into every fight scene, fights and says nothing to the media and fucks off home. Like, collects his paycheck, leaves. That's what I want to see from Lando, taking it to Max.
Yeah.
And I will, if you haven't heard it already, defend the comments that Lando had made, which were taken completely out of context, where, oh, it's just luck or whatever, because I've seen a lot of meme pages running with it. We know it's bullshit.
I don't listen to that. They always take shit out of context just to
exactly. But yeah, just at the end of the day, crazy race. The championship's gone. I think McLaren need to regroup, reset, reevaluate for next year, because I think that if Red Bull have had a car crash of a year this year, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better over the next year or so, you need to capitalize on that, because also if you don't, guess who's in arguably a very competitive Ferrari next year?
Lewis Hamilton.
And Charles Leclerc. Yeah. You need to be sorting this shit out now. You need to. You've got 3-4 races left. Sort your shit out.
And on that bombshell.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it
up. Super quick. And
I do have one thing.
Please. No, you go first, because I'm gonna do some fact checking real quick.
Okay, I would like to say that the GPDA have set up an Instagram page.
Who?
The Grand Prix Drivers Association.
Oh, that's cool.
Have set up an Instagram page. So it'd be interesting to see what content they put on there. So
that's very cool. I like that.
Yeah. So I think most of the drivers are following it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they put on there. So I followed it from the pod account, and so I don't know if you want to do it from your personal one.
I shall, yes.
But yeah, nothing else more to add from me. We'll obviously preview Vegas next week.
Yes, we will, because there is 18, as of recording right now, there is like 18 days left until Vegas. But, super important, Vegas is on a Saturday, so don't forget that. Vegas is a Saturday, do not forget.
I forgot. I didn't even know.
Yeah, Vegas is Saturday night. So yeah, there is also a Lego announcement coming around about the same time. It's been publicly announced.
Okay.
Formula One Lego. Hold on. Lego, because I'll read off of the screen, because there's a I might get in trouble if I say something wrong. Hold on, announcement. Because I think there's a countdown, like on the website or something like that.
Bro, Vegas is on a Sunday.
Is it? It's Sunday morning,
6 a.m.
but it's Saturday night there.
Yeah.
Sorry,
you confused me. Yeah. So it's 6 a.m. Sunday morning for us in the UK, European time zones.
Yeah.
It's at night, because it's a night race in Las Vegas. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted you talking about Lego.
Yes, you did. But yeah, there's like a Formula One like countdown. I'm just trying to look for it now. To an announcement.
Because they've got a partnership now, haven't they?
Yes. The partnership on my website tells me though that it's starting at 8 seconds. So I think there's an error there.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Oh, now it's looped around to 12 minutes. Good. Okay. I think it's just the web page is broken, but I believe there's a countdown on Lego's website. Yeah, here we go. 16 days, 10 hours. So there seems to be some sort of announcement of what on earth they're going to be up to then, which is very exciting. Like, Lego Formula One sounds absolutely brilliant. So keep an eye out for that if your name's Terry. But what I wanted to actually cover was something weird happened again this weekend.
Okay.
I outscored Adam again in F1 Fantasy.
Well done.
I don't know how I'm doing it. Adam, what the hell is going on?
You absorbed his powers since the podcast.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't.
All right, mate. No need to show off.
So if I go to since summer break, right? So we've had, what was the first race back after summer break? It was the Dutch Grand Prix, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was Dutch Grand Prix. I outscored him. Italian Grand Prix, I outscored him. Azerbaijan, I outscored him. Singapore, I outscored him at Singapore again. US, he outscored me by quite a bit actually, but he uses 3 times DRS and I haven't used that yet. And then Mexico, I outscored him.
What points did you get in? So what was the amount of points you got?
So Sao Paulo, I got 203 points. He got 135.
I got 203.
Did you?
Yeah. I double captained Lando.
Yeah.
Had Charles, Guanyu Zhou.
You're not in on our F1 versus F1 Fantasy HQ league. That might be why. I think you're only in the 107 league, like the classic one. But sorry. So for Sao Paulo, yes, you scored. Wait, where are you? No, you scored 79.
Did I?
Yep, 79. Unless you've not put the right team in, because your loadout currently is Russell, Piastri, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Bottas, McLaren, Williams.
Oh, man, I was looking at something else.
Okay.
Okay, doesn't matter. I'm cool.
But yeah, I don't know how I keep on outscoring him, but I think since the summer break, I've smashed him. And I'm like, how?
Isn't there like a post-summer break league?
There is, yes, but for some reason Zandvoort to Abu Dhabi League, I'm 707th. But there's a guy who uses Limitless. That'll be why. I'm 707th. So if I search for F1 Fantasy, maybe it'll be on there. 2, 3. No, it's not popping up for some reason. But he is on. Maybe it's because it's not loaded. It only shows the top 500 or whatever. So unless he's in the top 500, then I can't see it. But since the summer break, I've got 1,731 points.
Oh, nice, man.
So yeah, I don't know where he is in that, but yeah, I've outscored him. I think I'm 95% sure I have. So, which is insane. Especially because we were thinking about setting up a contest of whoever beats him, we'll give you something. But that's not quite happened.
Just give it to myself.
Yeah, just buy myself something. Treat yourself. But yeah, we should probably wrap things up there before my head inflates even more because I'm beating him at fantasy. But everyone, let me try that again. Thank you everyone for listening. It's been a good one. Vegas was crazy. Vegas will be absolutely crazy, hopefully. But Sao Paulo was absolutely crazy. As you can tell, it's been a long 24 hours, and I haven't even driven a car around Interlagos. So yeah, thank you everyone for listening. Please be sure to follow the podcast on your preferred podcast platforms. Come and check us out on Instagram, Threads. We've been doing okay on Threads recently. Come and say hello. Come and chill. Come and let us know how you enjoyed the latest episode or didn't enjoy the latest episode. Who knows? We're open to criticism. We get a lot of it. So feel free to come on down and send us some of your best hate. And
we'll like the post, like Lando.
Yeah, we'll like the post. Yeah. It's good engagement. And we will see you in the next one.
See ya.
Cheers, everyone.